In the morning, have you ever opened your eyes and had to blink over and over for quite a while before you could clearly read the words on your phone? As if a thin layer of fog were covering the screen in front of you, everything looks blurry. For 5 to 10 minutes, and only then slowly becomes clear again. Or you walk into the bedroom or the kitchen, stand there for a moment and suddenly ask yourself, wait, why did I even come in here? Or you just look at your phone or the television for a few minutes, and your eyes start to burn, ache, and feel heavy while your head feels stuffed as if someone had packed cotton inside. Most people after the age of 60 just laugh it off and say, I am old, that is how everyone is. But for a neurologist like me, those tiny little things are not normal at all. They are small symptoms with a big warning behind them. They are signs that your brain and your eyes are being starved at night, exactly when they need nourishment and repair the most. What if the things you have always considered just part of getting older are actually early warning signals that your eyes and brain are aging faster than the age written on your identification card? Studies in people over 60 show that most of us are lacking at least one important group of nutrients for the retina and for nerve cells, especially in the evening, the time when the body needs raw materials to patch up tiny injuries that have built up over a long day. The good news is this: to make your vision less blurry and your brain less frozen, you do not need to swallow a handful of pills, and you do not need to buy expensive supplements. In this video, I will show you 5 kinds of juices made from real foods that you drink at the right times of the day so that your eyes and your brain can recharge while you sleep. And especially the 5th juice is the one that very few people pay attention to, but it is directly related to deep sleep. If you skip it, the first 4 juices lose almost half of their benefit. I will save this secret card for near the end of the video so that those who stay until the very end will truly understand why it matters so much. Because at this age, the scariest thing is not getting older. The scariest thing is getting older in a fog, not really knowing what is happening to your own eyes and your own memory. If you are still seeing and hearing these words today, that means you still have a chance to change how you nourish your brain and your eyes starting tonight. Let me introduce myself a little so that you can feel at ease. I am Dr. Howard Tucker, a neurologist who has spent more than several decades working with people in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s. Every day, I hear stories that sound very much like yours. Vision slowly fading, thoughts slowing down, memory no longer as sharp as before. And behind all of that, there is always a little worry and a little fear that people do not quite know how to express. The channel you are watching, Elderly Wisdom Diaries, is not a channel that talks about disease in a way that tries to frighten you. This is where I want to sit with you and record a kind of eye and brain diary after the age of 60, the later years of life that are still clear and peaceful, instead of being spent in fear of losing your mind and losing your sight. I believe that old age can be very beautiful if we understand what we are going through. I remember a 72-year-old patient. The first time he walked into my office, he sat down and gave a strained smile. He said, "Doctor, I am probably just old, so it is like this." He told me that every morning when he opened his eyes, it felt as if there was a layer of fog in front of him. After reading the newspaper for a few pages, the letters became blurry, and his head felt heavy, so he had to put the paper down. After watching television for a short while, his eyes felt tired and he lost interest. For many years, he kept reassuring himself, "I am old, everyone is like that." However, when we did blood tests and examined him more carefully, the picture looked different. It was not a late stage of some incurable, deadly disease. It was not a situation where nothing can be done. What we saw was that for many years, his dinners and his pre-bedtime habits had provided almost no nourishment for his eyes and his brain. At night, the body wanted to repair and restore, but the warehouse had almost no materials. What makes me happy is that in cases like this, the door is still very wide open. By adjusting a few small habits and adding some foods and drinks at the right times after a few weeks or a few months, he told me that his vision was less blurry in the morning. He could read the newspaper for longer, and his head felt lighter than before. It was not a miracle. It was simply that his body was finally given what it had been needing. Today in this video, I will not talk about new medications and I will not discuss surgery. I only want to sit down with you and look at what we can drink in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening, using very simple ingredients from the kitchen so that the eyes and the brain are nourished properly, especially while you nerveless. Sleep. When you understand and apply this correctly, those small glasses of juice can become a healthy night meal for the retina and for nerve cells. But before we get into the 5 specific juices, there is one very important thing we need to make clear. Why do the eyes become blurry and the brain slow down so quickly after 60? If we do not understand the root causes, then whatever we drink is just a matter of luck. In the next part, I will explain in very simple language the 3 main reasons behind the symptoms you are going through. That way, each glass of juice you drink later will have a clear purpose instead of just following a trend. I have always believed that understanding your own body and understanding what it is trying to tell you is one of the most important forms of wisdom in old age. I am very glad that today you and I are taking one more step together on that path. When people talk about blurry vision and a slow brain after 60, most people just sigh and say, "It is old age, doctor, it is nothing." But if we break the problem down, you will see that besides age, there are 3 very clear reasons that are quietly pulling your eyes and your brain downward little by little. The good part is this: once you understand these 3 reasons, you will see why the 5 juices we are about to talk about are logical and science-based rather than random luck. First, I would like you to imagine the retina in your eyes and the nerve cells in your brain as a night shift crew of workers. During the day, they have to receive images, process information, store memories, and keep you awake and speaking clearly. At night, when you sleep, that is supposed to be the time when they receive supplies so they can repair, patch, and clean up after a full day of work. 3.1. Lack of nutrition specifically for the eyes and the brain. Now imagine that every day this crew shows up for their shift, but the supply room is almost empty. There is no cement, no bricks, no paint. Even if they want to repair things, they simply cannot. The retina and the nerve cells are the same. They need specific kinds of nourishment. They need vitamin A, lutein, and zeaxanthin to protect the cells that sense light and to keep the central part of your vision clear and detailed. They also need polyphenols and anthocyanins from deeply colored purple and dark green fruits and vegetables to fight the free radicals that age the cells in your eyes and in your brain. When your dinner and your before-bed snacks almost never contain these nutrients, when they are mostly white rice, very little vegetables, very little color on the plate, or just a few bites eaten without much thought, then at night your eyes and your brain have almost no raw materials to repair themselves. You will see the results the next morning. Your vision is blurry and it is hard to focus during the first 5 to 10 minutes. Your head feels heavy and it is hard to concentrate as if you have not fully started up yet. Throughout the day, you feel that your mind is slower than before. It is not because the brain has become lazy. It is because night after night it has been forced to keep working while the supply room stays empty. 3.2. Reduced blood circulation. The second reason is that the blood flow to the brain and the retina slowly becomes weaker. Imagine your blood vessels as water pipes that carry water to every corner of a house. When you are young, the pipes are soft and elastic, and the water flows strongly. As you get older, those pipes, meaning your blood vessels, gradually become stiffer and less elastic. The water still flows, but more weakly and more slowly, and it does not reach the distant corners as well as it did before. The brain and the eyes are 2 organs that use a great deal of oxygen. If less blood reaches them, they still work, but they are doing their job in a kind of low-fuel mode. That is why many people after 60 often say things like, "When I wake up, my head feels heavy as if something is pressing on my forehead," or "If I sit for a while, my eyes become sluggish and I no longer feel like looking at anything." It is not always a serious disease, but it is definitely a sign that your circulation is no longer as strong as it used to be. Later in this video, I will tell you about a deep red juice. Just 1 small glass can open up the road for blood to reach the brain more effectively for a period of time. At that point, you will understand why so many recent studies are paying attention to this particular root vegetable for older adults. 3.3. Oxidative stress and silent inflammation. The third reason is the hardest to see, but it is actually the most common: oxidative stress and low-grade smoldering inflammation. For many years, our eyes and brain have been exposed to strong sunlight, to blue light from screens, and to chronic lack of sleep, stress, and constant worry. Each of these leaves tiny scratches on the cells. A few little scratches do not matter. But over the years, if they are not cleaned up, those scratches pile up like a wall that slowly becomes dull and begins to flake and peel. The body does have the ability to clean up those scratches, but it needs antioxidants to do that job. These are special molecules that are found in abundance in dark, leafy green vegetables and in deep purple or dark red berries and fruits. When your diet is low in vegetables, low in dark-colored fruits, and low in these cell-cleaning compounds, oxidative stress and silent inflammation simply keep rising. The eyes become tired and sensitive to light more easily. The brain becomes fatigued more quickly, and forgetfulness becomes more common. This is why in the solution part of this video, I will emphasize juices made from green vegetables and purple fruits as a kind of protective armor for the eyes and the brain. Not to turn you back into a 20-year-old, but to slow down the wearing out process so that it happens more gently and bothers your daily life less. 3.4. Summarizing the 3 causes. If we put everything together, we can see that blurry eyes and a slow brain are not only caused by age. They are the result of many years during which the eyes and the brain have had to work, while 3 important things were missing: enough specialized nutrition, enough oxygen, rich blood flow, and enough antioxidants to clean up the tiny injuries inside the cells. So the most important question is no longer, why am I like this? Am I being punished just because I am getting old? The better question is, from today forward, how can I nourish my eyes and my brain better within my own abilities and my own circumstances? In our 60s and 70s, we do not need to go back to being 20 years old. We only need a few things to wake up seeing a little more clearly than the day before, to feel a little less heaviness and dizziness in the head compared to yesterday, and to sleep a little more deeply at night. That is already a very precious achievement. The 5 juices that I am about to share with you are not miracles. They are 5 very gentle, very down-to-earth ways to day by day and glass by glass help your blood flow more smoothly and give your eye cells and brain cells enough raw materials to repair themselves while you sleep. In the next part, I will walk you through each juice: the orange one, the green one, the red one, the purple one, and the one that supports deep sleep. You will see that by simply adjusting the time of day you drink them and staying consistent, your body will begin to respond with very real and practical changes. We will start with something very familiar, orange-colored, crisp, and sweet, that most people only know is good for the eyes in a vague way, without really understanding how it feeds the eyes and the brain. Now we come to the most important part: exactly what to drink and when to drink it, so that the eyes and the brain are nourished properly, especially while you sleep. I would like you to imagine these 5 juices as 5 friends. Each friend is responsible for a different task. You do not need to invite all 5 friends to your house every single day. You only need to choose 1 or 2 friends who fit you and see them regularly. That is already very good. I will go through each juice one by one and explain what it helps, with why science supports it, and what time of day makes the most sense to drink it. While you listen, you can quietly ask yourself, out of these 5, which one feels most suitable for my body, for my kitchen, and for my current habits? The first friend is the orange one, carrot juice. Everyone has heard that carrots are good for the eyes, but what exactly is good about them? Carrots are rich in beta-carotene, which the body converts into vitamin A. Vitamin A acts like a protective jacket for the light-sensing cells in the retina. These are the cells that help you see in low-light conditions. When vitamin A is lacking, the eyes become dry and blurry more easily, especially in the evening or early morning. In addition, carrots contain lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 pigments that concentrate in the macula, the central area of the eye that allows you to read clearly on a page, on a phone screen, and to see the faces of your loved ones in sharp detail. When you have enough of these 2 nutrients, the risk of age-related macular degeneration and loss of central vision can be reduced. For the brain, the antioxidant compounds in carrots also help protect nerve cells from the tiny scratches that I mentioned earlier. To put it simply, 1 small glass of carrot juice each morning is like turning on an extra light bulb for your eyes and for the areas of the brain that handle focus and decision-making. How to use it is very simple. In the morning after you wake up, or after a light breakfast, you can juice about 2 to 3 medium carrots. You may add a small piece of ginger to warm the stomach, or a few drops of lemon to make it easier to drink. If possible, eat a little healthy fat alongside it, such as a few walnuts, a slice of avocado, or a drizzle of olive oil on your toast, so that the beneficial compounds in the carrots are absorbed better. After a few weeks of keeping this habit, many of my patients have told me, "My mornings do not feel so foggy anymore. It feels like my eyes can focus faster, The second friend is the green glass juice made from leafy greens such as spinach and kale. The deep green color of these vegetables is not only the color of healthy eating, it is also the color of lutein, zeaxanthin, folate, and vitamin K, all of which are extremely fond of the eyes and the brain. Lutein and zeaxanthin, as I mentioned earlier, act like a built-in light filter for the eyes. They accumulate in the macula and help the eyes process light better, improve the ability to see fine details, and improve contrast sensitivity. At the same time, folate is a B vitamin that helps the brain process and reduce a substance called homocysteine. When homocysteine builds up too much, it is linked to a higher risk of cognitive decline. Vitamin K helps strengthen the membranes of nerve cells and allows signals in the brain to travel more smoothly. If you often feel that it is hard to concentrate, that your mind feels frozen for long stretches during the day, or that your mood easily becomes heavy and low, a daily glass of leafy green juice can be a very gentle but powerful ally. The ideal time to drink it is in the late morning or paired with a light lunch. You can juice a handful of spinach or kale, add 1 green apple, or half a cucumber to soften the flavor, and if you like, add a few drops of lemon. This glass is like a green break in the middle of the day, giving your eyes and your brain a fresh supply of protective nutrients. And remember, do not worry too much yet about whether you can handle the taste of greens, because later I will give you a deep red juice that is often easier to drink and can help your brain feel distinctly more awake in the afternoon. The third friend is beet juice, red like flowing blood. If the first 2 juices focus on nutrition for the structure of the eyes, and the nerve cells, beets mainly support the transport system itself, the blood vessels. Beets are rich in natural nitrates. When they enter the body, nitrates are converted into nitric oxide, a molecule that helps relax and widen blood vessels so that blood can flow more easily. For older adults, this is a very valuable support because blood vessels naturally become less elastic over time. When blood carries more oxygen and nutrients to the brain and the retina, you are less likely to feel that heavy head and glazed eyes in the afternoon. Many studies in older adults have shown that regular use of beet juice is associated with better blood flow to the brain and faster responses on cognitive tests. The golden window for beets is early afternoon, around 2 to 4 o'clock, exactly when many people start to feel sleepy and have trouble concentrating. You only need to juice 1 medium beet and add half an orange or 1 apple to balance out the earthy taste. 1 small glass is enough. You do not need more than that. Many of my patients have told me afternoons used to be when my mind felt the worst, but after adding a small glass of beet juice and a 10 to 15-minute gentle walk, I feel much more awake. If your biggest concern is not afternoon drowsiness, but rather forgetfulness and difficulty holding on to new information, then the next friend, the purple glass, is very much worth trying. The fourth friend is berry juice, blueberries, wild berries, and other dark purple or deep red berries. This is the deep purple glass of memory and renewal. These berries are rich in anthocyanins, a powerful group of antioxidants that can cross the blood-brain barrier. Once inside the brain, they help reduce oxidative stress, reduce inflammation, and support the flexibility and responsiveness of nerve cells. Many studies suggest that when older adults regularly consume purple berries, memory can improve, information is processed faster, and levels of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a kind of growth fertilizer for nerve cells, tend to rise. In simple terms, these compounds make the soil in the brain more fertile so that new connections between nerve cells can grow more easily. For the eyes, anthocyanins also help protect the visual nerve cells and support the strength of the pathways that connect the eyes to the brain. This glass is best in the evening, about 60 to 90 minutes before bedtime. You can use a small cup of fresh or frozen blueberries blended with a little water, or you can add half a banana if you prefer a thicker smoothie. It is almost like a dessert for the brain that you send ahead before you go to sleep. However, even if your daytime and evening nutrition are very good, if your sleep is still shallow, broken, and easily disturbed, your body still does not have enough time to repair itself. This is where the fifth friend, the trump card, comes in. The fifth friend is Tart cherry juice, the glass that supports deep sleep. I have saved this glass for last, not because it is the most important, but because it ties all of the previous glasses together. Many people after 60 tell me I can sleep, but I do not sleep deeply. I wake up 2 or 3 times a night, and in the morning my body feels drained. When sleep is shallow, the brain and the eyes do not get enough golden hours to clean up and repair, even if you have been eating and drinking very well. Tart cherry juice is an interesting option because it contains natural melatonin and many anti-inflammatory polyphenols. For some people, drinking a small glass of tart cherry juice before bed can make it easier to fall asleep and to stay in deeper sleep. Deep sleep is not just a pleasant feeling of sleeping soundly. During that time, the brain has the best conditions to clear out metabolic waste from nerve cells, to strengthen the connections that support memory, and to give the eyes and the visual nerves a real meaningful rest. Ideally, you drink one small glass of tart cherry juice about 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime. You can dilute it with water if the sour taste is too strong. As with any source of natural sugars, people who have chronic conditions, such as diabetes or kidney disease, should talk with their doctor about how it fits into their total daily sugar intake. If I had to choose just one small change for you to make starting tonight, I would tell you to start with sleep. That is when the body quietly does its most amazing healing work, without noise and without any show, but with an impact on every morning that follows. By now you have met all 5 friends. The orange glass helps your eyes feel less blurry and your head feel less foggy in the morning. The green glass helps your vision feel clearer and your mind feel calmer and more clear-headed. The deep red glass helps blood flow more freely to your brain and your eyes in the afternoon. The dark purple glass supports memory nerve connections and flexible thinking. The tart cherry glass lays the foundation for deep sleep, the golden time when all of these benefits can be fully carried out. You do not need to drink all 5 every day. What matters is that you choose 1 or 2 that fit your health, your taste, and your budget, and then make them a small but steady part of your day. In the next part, I will not speak to you in the language of a doctor, but in the language of an older person who has watched many seniors change their lives with small steps like these. We will talk about how to stay patient with these habits and why they not only help your eyes and your brain, but also help you see your life more clearly and more gently. You know, after several decades of seeing older patients, I have realized something. The speed at which the body ages is not only about the number of years, it is also about the little things we repeat every day. A 78-year-old patient once told me I thought I was done. My vision was blurry, my head felt dull, and I kept forgetting things. Yet after just a few months of gentle changes, a few glasses of juice, slightly slower but more consistent walks, going to bed a little earlier, he said, "I am still old, but now I feel more comfortable living in this body." In our 60s, 70s, and 80s, we do not need a miracle that makes us young again. We need small, steady rhythms, a thoughtful glass of juice for the eyes, a deep night's sleep for the brain, a quiet moment to sit still and listen to ourselves. Clearer eyes are not only so that we can read the newspaper, but so that we can see the faces of the people we love more clearly. A better memory is not only so that we can remember numbers, but so that we can remember how resilient we have been throughout our lives. Each glass of juice, each step we take, and each peaceful night of sleep is like a gentle letter that you send to your future self saying, "I still want to take care of this life." If you have listened this far, I believe that there is already a small decision inside you, even if it is only. Tonight, I will begin with one first glass. Thank you for giving me almost 20 minutes out of a life that at this stage no longer feels long. That tells me that you still value your eyes, your brain, and the years you still have ahead of you. For me, this video is not only medical advice, it is a small page in the wisdom diary of old age that we are writing together. If what you have heard today helps you understand yourself better, worry a little less, or simply gives you one new idea to try tonight, I will ask you for 3 very small favors. Please press like so that YouTube understands that content for older adults still deserves to be seen. Please share this video with someone who is worried about their eyes, their memory, or their sleep. And if you can please leave one short comment that says, "I will start with juice number." If you would like to have another warm, non-judgmental, easy-to-understand science conversation each week, please subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Diaries so that we do not lose touch with each other. I am Dr. Howard Tucker. I wish that from today you will live a little slower, a little deeper, and trust that your eyes and your brain still have a chance to grow clearer every day.